Hey, everybody. It is Nicole here, your favorite CEO. I am the CEO and founder of ProcuraFind, where we develop and connect small businesses to corporate contracts faster. And today, I want to talk about money, moolah. Show me the money, but not my money, your money. I want to talk about why people are not making more money, and it is a fundamental problem with their belief system. Yes, I said it. Belief, your belief. It is not that people aren't spending the money. It's not that they're not going to give that money to someone else for that person's expertise, services, and skills, right? It's that you don't believe you should be charging that. What? Right? Outrageous, but it's the truth. Many people are underpriced, right? And they're overthinking it and they're not getting paid their worth because they simply don't believe that they should be getting paid what you position, what you present to the client. And I'm here to tell you that it is a fundamental problem with your belief system. Now, I did not become a doctorate of humane letters simply by chance. I've been doing this good work for about 25 years. I know I don't look old enough, but it's true. I was a corporate leader for 24 years in the banking financial sector. Look me up, Google me, go to my profile and see that I've always helped people, right? And then in 2015, I decided to take the leap officially and I became an entrepreneur, but I was coaching and guiding people and giving people money conversations, negotiating conversations, salary conversations. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something that I first witnessed way back in like 2013, 2014. I remember there was a period of time where I was helping everybody get paid more in their career jobs, okay, in their salary, because I had the gift of negotiation. I was always good at propositioning my value. I understood value versus worth. Value is what you hold. It's what you create for yourself. Worth is if it's worth it to them, if they're going to pay the worth of your value. And listen, your value doesn't change because they cannot see your worth, number one. However, during those coaching days, during those career days, I had a system of taking people who had, I want to say, service-based jobs, restaurant-based jobs. Maybe they worked for the Apple store at the mall, right? But they desperately wanted to be something else. They saw a different life trajectory for themselves. They saw a different career path as maybe a project manager or some kind of program manager or something in the more professional services space. And I was already in that space in my career. So I loved transformative coaching. I loved changing people from where they were to where they wanted to be. I was always good at stuff like that, like literally, okay? However, this is when I first realized though that you couldn't change the mindset so easily. I would coach people for hours about how their resume translates, how those transferable services that they were doing in that restaurant industry, hotel industry, or whatever really could translate over to the project management space. And then I would help them identify what skill sets they needed, what classes they needed to take. And in some cases, people were already credentialed and qualified. They were just undervaluing themselves. However, when we would get to the most important part, the interview, and we would talk about what they want to be paid, this is where the fear happened for all these people, guys. It wasn't just with one person. It was with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. I would coach them. Now that we had done all this work, we'd get to the interview part and I would say, okay, on the interview, they're going to ask you, how much do you want to be paid? What is your desired salary? And for this role, I happen to know as a hiring manager, remember, I was a corporate leader. We hired for these very roles. So here I was giving the person the insight and I was saying, when you get to this, you want to ask for $120,000 for a role like this. And they would be like, I can't do that. And I would be like, what? Why not? I couldn't believe that all my good work, all my good coaching, we would get here, and here would be the roadblock. The barrier would be this, the mindset, the inability to believe that you were worth, right, the salary that you were presenting yourself at. And here's the kicker. I knew firsthand that people were willing to pay that because I personally had paid that for someone just like them to do the job that I was training them to do or coaching them to do. And I remember saying, yes, ask for $120,000 or $110,000. Here's how you position it. Here's what you say. And almost 100% of the time, the people would be like, I can't do that. Well, why can't you? I'm not going to ask for that. Why? because right now I'm making $70,000 and I'm happy to be making that. I can't possibly ask for $120,000. You guys, they would literally have a conniption as if they were like, this was that person's own money. They didn't understand value versus worth. They didn't understand that these are line items in corporate America. This is not that person's money, honey. This is already budgeted. These people are already wanting to pay you this pay grade. This is a pay grade already associated with this type of work, and yet the person I was coaching could not get through their heads that they were worth that their value was worth that. And if you don't understand the worth of your value, who else will? Well, why am I telling you this story? Because you're business owners. Here's why I'm telling you this, is that this same stinking thinking transfers into your brain today as an entrepreneur. You still remember the problems you had asking for money when you was an employee, and now you just simply can't bring yourself to do it. But what you don't realize is that every single NAICS code, N-A-I-C-S, if you don't know what it is, read the book. It's all here. And Be the Contract Winning Supplier. We break it down. Our members know what this is. But if you don't understand your NAICS codes, your commodity codes, the type of industry, the type of work has a service fee that's already associated with, that already carries a certain worth. And the worth can change based on the person with the need. This is why, right? You might say, hey, for this pair of jeans, it is so worth it. And I might say, oh my God, for this pair of jeans, it is not worth it. The worth may change, but it still has a certain value associated with it. And the worth will be determined on how much the person is willing to pay. But I want you to know that people are willing to pay for your skills, your knowledge, right? And what you bring to the table. But if you don't believe it, how can you ever expect them to believe it? If you don't put that price there, you will never get paid it, right? I love when Myron Golden says, here's one thing for sure, no matter what you believe, if you never ask for it, you certainly will never get it. Right? And if you don't believe that you're worth it, if you don't believe your value can stand up, then the person who believes he is and the person who believes he isn't are both right. So what I'm saying is I want you to shift your mindset, because here's the thing that you need to know. The moment that someone is paying for a product, a third-party service, a third-party good, there is an automatic convenience that comes with that. That is something that they don't have to think, invent, or dream of. You have it, they need it. There is a demand for it, you can supply it. My friend, that alone is worth something. So right away, there's the convenience fee of you providing the service. That is worth something, yeah? And then your skill set, the fact that you're actually good at it, the fact that when you deliver this thing, you do it in a transformative way, a dependable way, a reliable way. Oh, and you've done it a million times, you have past performance, that starts to add on. You guys, let me tell you how I price, and then I'm gonna wrap this video up. When I am pricing something that is a service base, that is based on my knowledge and expertise that I'm bringing to the table, because let me tell you about Dr. Dawn Nicole. Here's one thing I know. I don't know it all, but I do know that when I show up in the room, my contribution will make the room significantly better than when I came. I have a fundamental belief that there is an impact associated with the work I bring to the table, and you should believe the same. And if you don't, that's why you're not getting paid what you're worth. So when I'm doing my pricing for the things that I've got to show up to do, my first question is, what is it going to take to make me get up out of bed happily, right, to produce this deliverable, this service? That's my first price, is what is that price in my head that makes me get up with a smile, jump on a plane, and happy to be there? Whatever, no matter how outrageous it is, that's my first price. Then I start doing the material hard costs, right? How much is it going to cost? How much is travel? How many hours, right? What's the complexity? How many people, right? And hopefully the two marry up, right? But I always start with my dream price. I'm gonna because I can afford. I've afforded to do it this way, right? So I want you to have a belief that when you show up, when you show up, you make it significantly better. If you know that your product is that good, right? Because you have case studies, past performances, and you know what you know, and you can do it with your eyes closed. Start making sure that your value, right, shows it. And your value doesn't change just because they can't afford it. You hold your value even when the people around you can't afford what it is worth. And that is the tea, okay? So I hope this was helpful. If you like what I'm talking about, subscribe to the channel, become a member so that you never miss out on any good content, and make sure you get the book, whether it's for yourself or for some other small business owner that you love and adore.